Welcome to Thought Bar. Think of us as NPR's rowdy cousin. Grab a seat. Your bartenders will be out shortly.
So, yo, guys, welcome back to another episode. No. This got to be grander than this. This got to be grander.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
This has got to be grander than this.
I guess we're back, guys.
We're back officially. This is the relaunch.
Come on now.
Of Thought Bar.
Come on now.
We're back, man.
All right.
We're you see new surroundings.
Look at this. We're actually in a bar.
In a bar.
We're in a bar.
It's actually a bar in a bunker. Guys, we're still in the bunker. We're quarantining.
Yeah.
We're not gonna not quarantine. You know what I'm saying? We're doing what we got to do.
Come on now.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Guys, it's been a wild, 6 months since we last recorded?
I don't know. 4 or 5 years.
It might as well be. It's been a crazy time, guys. And so we're going to come back, and we got a lot of stuff we want to talk about, of course. First thing. Well, actually, let me get you guys shot list. Well, I forgot how we even lined this thing out.
First off, let's tell them we are in Joystick right now.
Oh, yeah.
Joystick off of Edgewood has allowed us to grace
their presence.
Grace this place.
And you see all of the items and whatnot, man. This place is magical.
Come play with this stuff.
You can see the magic
in this bar.
In this bar.
Be a grown kid.
Straight up. Why not? Why not? And then when you're done, go over across the street to Georgia Beer Garden.
Come on now.
And get you a shot.
Come on
a
now.
slushie. The best slushies on Edgewood.
A to-go slushie.
And,
come on now.
Have a good time.
Slushie.
This is
with liquor in it. Come on, man. Like, I don't even want to
talk some New Orleans.
New Orleans.
The most New Orleans place, guys.
Come on now, live your life.
Yes, 100%.
You don't know how much you got left.
So the watermelon slushie and the ice mocha.
Yo, I had the coffee slushie, man. The coffee slushie had some, I believe maybe some bourbon or some whiskey in it, man. Ooh. Come on now, get your day started right. Come on, stop playing with me.
In this pre-COVID, hopefully, life.
Exactly.
Hopefully we get back to normal.
Yeah, man.
But yo, guys, we're back and we're doing this thing, man. Check this. Here's your shot list for today.
All right.
Yeah, we're getting into it.
What?
So, and we got a new format, just to let y'all know.
Okay.
So we're starting off with a drink of the day.
All right.
And so our drink of the day is going to be a quick shot about COVID and where we're at with that. Just a COVID-19 update.
Okay, yeah.
The second shot is going to be a pop shot. And, guys, we're going to go a little political on this one.
We're going to go political on the pop shot?
No. I know, man. I know. It's a question, though, because I think it's gotten to that point.
Okay.
Will America survive the Trump presidency? And I call it the Trump Supernova.
Yes, you did.
And there's a reason. And I'm gonna explain why I call it the Trump Supernova.
Right.
If you keep listening.
And
so in the third shot, guys, is a tech shot, and it is about the largest fusion reactor on Earth is currently being built.
Yes.
In Europe, of course.
Yes, of course. No.
I thought Japan would be, but Europe actually is pushing for green energy a lot. But anyway, that's we'll get into that.
Yeah.
And then finally, guys, we got a whole new on tap, which is, it's really kind of, it's broad.
Yes.
It's broad.
And we want to know what you guys think about this.
Please tell us.
For sure.
Tell us.
For sure.
No, it's America 2.0.
Yeah.
We feel like at this point in time, why not question what it would look like to start over?
Yeah.
Like, what would a new America, if you had to recreate this, if you had to new game,
what do call it?
If you had the new game America,
new game plus,
how would your character look? So it's gonna be America 2.0, and specifically in this episode, we're gonna be speaking about advancing democracy, because that's kind of the fundamental, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, man. So let's get into it. Let's get this first shot popped off. This is the drink of the day. COVID-19, people.
Okay.
COVID-19. Where are we?
Where are we, Nick?
Where are we? So last time we spoke to y'all from the bunker, the other bunker, because we moved. Last time we spoke to you guys from the other bunker, COVID was starting up.
Yeah.
And we laughed about a lot of we didn't
We
know.
did.
I mean,
We did.
You guys know we laugh at
Yes.
laugh at a lot of
Yeah, we thought this was gonna be a, hey man, 2 months. We had a Japan trip planned.
Japan to Tokyo.
We were going to Tokyo, guys.
Because I told my friends, I was like, yo,
you trash.
I told him, man, and I feel so bad because I led a few down the path of darkness, and we couldn't get our tickets back from the airlines, and that's a whole nother thing, bro.
Yeah.
All of our airlines, bro. 'em. We need to be building a high speed transit system to compete with cross national No, because the way they behaved during this whole time and even still now
Yeah.
is abhorrent. It's abhorrent. But that's a whole nother guys. Don't let me get off on that.
Right.
But no, I led them astray because my idea was that by September, this was March when we first did this, right?
Yeah.
Like this was March. By September, if I told the group, if it isn't over by September, then we got bigger problems.
Yes.
That's what I said.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, we have bigger problems.
We do.
And I did not calculate an American administration not doing the best it could, or even actively seeming to act against in the best interests of Americans.
Whew.
Resolving this thing.
Come on now.
I didn't anticipate that.
No.
And so, between that time, guys, we were at a space where COVID was at what, 5% death rate?
5%. Yeah.
I think it was globally 5%, 4.5 or 5%.
Mm-hmm.
Now for the U.S., it is 3%. I'm not sure what it is globally. I think we can pull those numbers, but I'm thinking that global rates are dropping as well because there are some countries that are very close to opening up again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now we definitely thought that we'd just be much less. We thought that we would be way less than this.
Yeah.
At this point, we thought this would be a passing thing, like every other pandemic is a somewhat passing thing.
Yeah.
But we're here. It's. I do think that we, to some degree, have a bigger problem than we thought we had.
Yeah.
I think we all took it seriously, a month or so in.
Yeah.
But it's definitely more serious than we thought it was, because of the way that it just affected everything. Nobody economically really ducked this buckshot.
Yeah.
It just
100%.
Yeah.
And we didn't, and by we, our administration didn't quite take the advice of the experts.
They stopped believing science for some reason. but
did they ever believe in science? I'm not gonna get too political.
Exactly.
We try to stay apolitical.
Yes, but I will say that we are at a point that the CDC has come out and said that people who have not shown signs do not need to get tested. But see, of course, the CDC has also come out and said that only 6% of the deaths that were linked to COVID were due to COVID only. Were due to purely COVID. We don't know if some people have been saying that was maybe just lazy documentation by certain people who just because of course COVID kills by so many other means that you can that means that if a doctor puts someone has passed from COVID, that's one thing. But if they say that he has passed from COVID and respiratory failure, that respiratory failure was caused by COVID. So technically, is that means that 6% number is much higher than we think it is.
But even beyond that, this is comorbidity, right? Like this idea, and this is something the right has really kind of, this is what they championed essentially. It wasn't a big deal because the only people dying were people with underlying conditions. what? Like,
Yeah,
that's
no,
still
that's
not
true. That wasn't
like
true.
okay, even if we look at it just from that perspective, it's like,
Yes.
but these people didn't have to die because this disease was containable.
It was containable.
It was containable,
And
right?
underlying conditions. I mean, like they say, like so much of the population, 40 to 60% of the population has an underlying condition that was not going to kill them at all. This underlying condition wasn't going to kill them until they were 70.
Yeah.
And now they have to deal with this underlying condition when they're 30. Or in their 20s.
No, them using that to dismiss how serious it was is insane. It's just insane.
Yes.
And the thing that made COVID so dangerous, or makes COVID so dangerous, I think, to be honest, we're coming up out of it, right?
Yeah, we are.
In my estimation, and the reason why we're coming up out of it is because, or at least what I'm seeing is because infection rates are still kind of, I think they're going up still.
Yeah.
But the death rates are starting to drop.
Wow.
What we're seeing take hold is herd immunity.
Yeah.
Herd immunity is finally, or is it? Am I using the right word? Is it herd immunity or?
If you're not using the
Tracy,
right word,
is that the right word? Tracy's our producer, guys. We got a producer now.
we got a producer now. We're big time. Stop talking to me like that. Don't speak to me on the street when you see me.
No, is it? It's
herd immunity.
Herd immunity is
like
community immunity.
Yeah, basically the idea that it's basically the same sentiment that if you're a parent, the idea that parents have like these cold parties where one kid gets sick, and instead of having to deal with it at random, all the parents have all the kids kind of go and catch a cold at the same time, so that they all kind of.
Or that enough of the community that isn't like ill, that isn't really sick or old, gets it, and so it kind of like and gets over it and builds immunity to it, and so it forms this kind of shield or herd immunity around the elderly, and so that it doesn't touch the people who are sick. Who if they get it, it will be really bad. But because the rest of us have gone through it and gotten immunity, then we're kind of forming the shield. And so what's happening now is, or at least what I think is happening, is that herd immunity is finally taking hold. And that the issue with COVID was that it was so dangerous because herd immunity was not taking hold, because we weren't building antibodies. Like scientists were saying that if you got it, you could get reinfected in about 3 months or so, because you're unlike other things that we have dealt with. Your body doesn't hold on to that immunity for a long period of time. Like a cold, you get it, or a flu, whatever strain, you get it, you build immunity to it. You probably don't have to worry about it again unless you get another strain. COVID was acting totally abnormal in that people were getting it, but their bodies weren't building complete immunity to it. So that herd immunity, that normal logic takes, or that herd immunity that people kind of use and reference in normal logic when dealing with viruses and stuff, was not taking hold. And so like these people that were like, we should just get out there and do it, it's like, this is not the same animal. It's like, I get what you're saying. Like, we all just get the stomach virus, a bad rash of the stomach virus goes through everybody. Everybody gets it, and then we're set and good. It's like it was not behaving that way, and they didn't recognize it.
You have to understand when you're talking about certain, people who are experts on this. When they are saying that it's knocking out a lot of people.
Come on, man.
When they're saying it's knocking out a
The
lot
Rock.
of people.
The Rock,
and
Dwayne Johnson.
And when they're saying that, and also going back and saying, I'm still not sure what the this is,
dude.
That's when you have to say, like, hey, let's take more precautions, because they're saying that they don't exactly know what this is.
And I brought up The Rock because everyone knows The Rock is like almost 100% muscle. This guy's the epitome of health.
Of health,
right?
Bro.
And he even said like this was one of the worst things he's ever been through.
Come on now.
Come on. Like,
if The Rock can't take it, your ass can't
you
take
don't
it,
want to smell what's cooking.
You don't want it, bro.
God damn. Can you smell? No, seriously.
And what it's done to our economy, and the fact that it's shown that most, it's like they say that you should have 3 months saved up just in case.
Come on, man.
What we've shown is that most businesses don't have 3 months saved up. So if that's the case, then look, man, nobody really truly dodged this whole COVID thing.
Not at all.
Completely unscathed.
Not at all.
So unless you were a billionaire, which means that this probably, you probably made a few mil during this.
And the thing is, but it's like, it's exposed so much that is wrong with our economic system at the moment. But that's all we got on that shot.
That's all we got.
That's all we got. I'm being cut.
So we got to wrap it up.
So, but that's my last bit. Moving on to our next shot, guys.
What's going on?
Will America, in a related note, will America survive?
Very related.
You said very. Got kissing cousins. Too related.
It's almost too related.
You're too related for this. No,
this ain't by marriage, bro. It's blood.
No, but in the related note, will America survive the Trump supernova or Trump administration? And let me clarify what I mean by that.
That's what I was literally about to ask you. What do you mean?
What do I mean by that?
What do you mean by that?
So it is my estimation that what's happening is there's a fight between the old America and the new America, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we're seeing these demographic shifts, we're seeing these ideological shifts, all go more towards the left. Diversity, inclusion, the general ideology of the nation is trying to move towards the left. There are people who are totally opposed to all of those things, totally opposed to diversity, totally opposed to equity, totally opposed to social mobility for everybody.
Yes.
They are the ones that are at a point, they're at a fever pitch right now of anger. Mm-hmm. And by supernova, Trump has, the president has kind of unleashed and given license to all of the worst of the nation, right? Like the hatred and the xenophobia and the racist, all this. He's kind of he's given his kind of explicit and sometimes subtle stamp that this is okay. Yeah. Right. And they know it. Yeah, I mean, I'm not talking political here, guys. Like,
this is not.
Yeah. They'll say, if you ask one of these guys who love him on the street, they'll be like, yeah, he makes me feel like I can say this and I can do. Yeah, he gives you approval, right?
I mean, these are the same things that it's not political to say that many black people were happy that Obama got elected because he was black. This is not some kind of statement that's like crazy hypothetical. It's like, no, if someone were to come to me and say that there was something that wasn't about political values and things like that about Obama that black people enjoyed, we just enjoyed that it was a guy who looked like me and who also really, really, really liked basketball. And he was there. I enjoyed that.
100. And so this guy, so this guy has given these people kind of a license for this stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Has given these people a license for this, and so their anger and this fever pitch is rising, and he's let it go, and he's pushing them forward and stuff, and just like a supernova. So like what a supernova, a star. It in its last days, it's about to explode. It gets angry. I mean, not angry, but it's like it's spewing out radiation, spewing out energy at an insane rate that it hasn't done before, because it's dying. Yes, because it's now unstable. Yeah, and that's why I call it a supernova, because at the end of the day, all of this anger and all of this rage that they're outputting, or they're putting out, doesn't change the fact that America is changing. It does not change the fact that. Demographics, that the nation is becoming more diverse, it's becoming more inclusive, it's becoming more aware of its history in a very honest sense. Yes. And you cannot change that. And to try to change that means to try to go against logic and to go against reason and to go against science and to go against facts. And so their anger is rising because as they get closer to death, they feel it. Yeah. Trump to them is the last bit of hope that they have to live this life that they're trying to live, or to express themselves in the way they're trying to express themselves.
I do believe that Trump is definitely the death rattle of a party who believes that they are the silent majority, even when they lost the popular vote. How are you the silent majority who lost the popular vote when your galvanizing hero who has shown up to, champion your cause has taken the podium and you still lost by the popular vote? Yeah. Because my thing is that when Obama showed up, we ain't lose by nothing. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't there, you know what I'm saying? Like there ain't no silent majority there. No. So the idea that they are saying that, like, oh, secretly there are all these secret people who actually agree with us. It's like, dude, that
is
not
a
whole
marketing stick.
That is
shtick,
this
right?
is propaganda.
But it is propaganda. It's a propaganda at this point. But what I'm saying is, the supernova, right? Mm-hmm. Like so Trump like comes out and he says, and he brings them to this point of like, hey, I'm your savior. I'm your guy. And if you don't stick with me, all of your dreams and all of the life you want to live is gone. That's how they feel. Yeah. Because honestly, it probably is true. Like, in the sense of, like, yo, he's probably your last guy, period. Yeah. Yeah. Period. That's going to be at least this radical. Yes. Because the demographic shifts and whatnot that are happening. I mean, and the amount of education that the people are getting, it is starting to change things, and it's starting to move, and even culture, right? So we're talking about culture, and that's another thing. So that's another thing that feeds into this supernova. Is like, for these people who are so angry, they feel like they've lost America's cultural war. Yeah. Or what? It's not even a war. It's just they felt they've lost America's cultural battle, right? Yes. They feel like they're losing America's. Obama made them feel like America's political space was also in danger. Yes. And they've lost cities. There's not one red city in the country. Yes. I can't think of one, at least. I can't think of a major red city. Because you kind of need diversity for a city to pop, right? For an American city to thrive, you actually need diversity. Yeah. Like, the thing is that what the change that you're fighting, I mean, because they're sitting back, they're gonna fight a bunch of change, you know. Yeah. But the thing that they are fighting is that, like, yes, you've lost the fight, and you losing the fight means one day a Mexican might move next to you. It's like that's literally the fight that you're that's what you're so angry about. This is because, but see, he's convinced you that Mexican is gonna move next to you and is gonna attack you one day. Yeah, it's all based on fear. It's all based on fear. That's the idea. Irrational that, like, fear. Oh, one day, saying, oh, blacks might be able to afford this neighborhood. And that's a problem. Really but what they've convinced you of is that oh, and then the property value will go down once the blacks move in, and they'll have all their, people hanging around, which is what's going to decrease the property value. Yeah. So, I mean, I'll say this. Us surviving the Trump supernova, I mean, I think we're America, and we're going to survive anything. Mm-hmm. But I think that just like with its cousin, the coronavirus, I don't think we're going to survive unscathed. I think we're gonna survive, and we are gonna remember this. Well, we are gonna remember what this was like, because it's like we may come back stronger than this. Yeah. We, during this next election, we might come back realizing that we can never let that happen again. Well, that's my take. My take is I'm not so sure that we're gonna survive it. Okay. I'm not as optimistic. Okay. But I will say that, to me, we're at a fork in the road. All right. Either American democracy does not survive on one side, because if Trump gets it again, I don't think democracy as we know it will make it. And I know there's a lot of people on the right who say we're not a democracy, we're a republic. It's like, yeah, dude, a republic is a form of democracy. Yes. Jesus Christ. Yes. This is just one of those marketing shticks that you're falling for again. Yeah, it's like, exactly. A democratic republic is technically our term, right? Yeah. Like, we're a democratic republic. It's like, dude, anytime you give people the ability to vote, or to control their government or to have a say in their government. It's a democracy.
Like,
so stop. Like
stop
with
playing
stop.
semantics with me.
Stop it. I'm not finna do this. But yeah, so either we don't make it, or America gets on this path of truly being or trying or more honestly being the nation it says it is, which is we're at a really amazing inflection because even the history, the nation as a whole, there are subgroups that have known this for a long time, but the nation as a whole is waking up to the propaganda, like how much of our history is propaganda.
It's just
how much of what has been taught to us has been complete bull crap. And if not bull crap, it's totally it has omissions. Bruh. It has omissions. It has crap like was just completely false.
Yes.
It has miscontextualization.
Completely.
And so like dude like Columbus. One thing I will say, and this is my last point.
Right.
The one thing I will say is like the Columbus statues falling was really poignant for me. People pulling down the Christopher Columbus statues.
Yeah. No,
because
very much so.
and I know it doesn't change the core of like some of the issues, but like it is that image of the reckoning, right? It is that image of like, yo, we do not accept this BS crap that has been taught to us anymore. Christopher Columbus was not great.
No.
It was nothing great about him.
No.
Why are we honoring this man?
No.
Boom. Bring the statue down.
He got lost, bro. I'm not doing this with y'all, bro. He got lost, bro. I'm not doing this with y'all.
He got lost, bro.
Bruh,
navigation system went out.
Oh, bro. Do you know how lost you got to be to hit America and you thought you was
in
going to India? I'm not doing this with
bro.
y'all.
Was drinking hella
bro.
whiskey on this boat, bro.
That pirate rum, bro.
That Popeye.
That one was on that Jack Sparrow.
Come on, man.
And then to land in a place that you thought was India, find out it wasn't, but keep calling them Indians. I don't want to talk about it.
The brazenness.
What's the next shot?
Oh, okay. Shot down, man. Shot down. I'm done with this. Next shot. Oh my goodness. All right. So I can't remember where. The largest fusion reactor.
France, I believe.
France. Okay.
France.
The largest fusion reactor in the world is being built in France. I think we'll go with that.
Keep going.
France.
Yeah.
And so this is amazing to me because it really brings up the question of like free energy. Mm-hmm. Like fusion is the holy grail of energy production.
Yes. This is our tech shot, right, guys?
This is our tech shot. We have so yeah, pop shot, tech shot. Pop. No, but the tech shot is so, you know, fusion energy is the holy grail of energy production.
Yes.
And the reason being is because like number one, it doesn't produce a lot of radioactive byproduct like its sibling fission. But however, you know, it doesn't. I think the byproduct is like what, like water or something. I don't know.
Well,
but
you know, we definitely can. Okay, so we can power this with. I'm gonna just. I mean, this is the most layman thing, but basically, what we need to power this thing is basically in seawater.
Yeah.
So we basically have infinite energy. So I mean, that basically, you know, this, you know, a fusion reactor is powered by so many little things that we could take a fusion reactor to outer space, to the dark side of the moon, and be powering a city there, or a small town there, or whatever. So the idea that a fusion reactor is something that truly is, I mean, as far as we know it, kind of like infinite energy.
Yeah, at least as close as we think. And so for those of y'all who went to sleep in physics class, so nuclear fission is the process of breaking apart atoms. Mm-hmm. Nuclear fusion is the process of fusing those atoms together. Both processes, fission produces a lot of energy. It's the source of most of our nuclear weapons. There are hydrogen bombs, which are fusion bombs, which produce way more energy as well. Yes. So fusion produces a lot of energy.
Yeah. I mean, to break that down, all you need to produce energy is heat. So
Yeah.
you're basically saying what can create the most heat. We're just trying to create as much.
Yeah.
I mean, when it comes to fission and fusion reactor, I mean, you're talking about creating plasma, basically. I mean, you're talking about creating, for real, the most just heat that you can create.
Yeah. Without getting a Chernobyl situation, right?
Exactly.
Like, and if y'all don't know what Chernobyl is, then I don't even want y'all to listen. I'm just playing though, but no, fusion has a bright future for us because, like you're saying, it's limitless. Well, it has near limitless production. It has very little byproducts, and the input is everywhere. And so the issue with fusion, though, has been that fusion, a stable reaction, has not produced more energy than it's taken to to actually make the fusion happen. Yeah, and that's been the biggest issue.
Cool.
It's like,
oh, you just hit the standby if you stop recording. Oh, okay.
Oh,
well, you know, we got one cam now.
Well,
Welcome to the first episode.
Yeah, that's what happens. Exactly. That's what happens.
So yeah.
No, so the reaction hasn't produced more energy than it's taken to create the reaction.
Exactly.
That's been the issue. Yes. And so scientists have been steadily trying to figure out how to control the reaction in a way to where the input of energy is less than the output of energy.
Yes.
And so, we're getting close. And so, what does that mean for everything is a good question, because especially if these are publicly produced or publicly owned nuclear reactors, right? Exactly. So then it's like your city or your state has nuclear reactor. I mean, a fusion reactor that now powers the entire state, or maybe 2 or 3, whatever. Yeah. So 2 or 3 that powers the reactor at zero or very little cost.
Yes.
So now your electric bill and the electric bill of every producing unit in the economy. So every factory now has an electric bill of very little.
I got something to say about this.
And that is where that has like a very interesting and very hopeful future. It's like, we can produce the input costs for products. We can produce. We can lower the cost of living. All of that stuff.
This is where I jump in.
Oh shit.
This is where I
already feel that he's finna say some.
I'm about to say some. I'm about to say some stuff. I'm about to pop this. I'm about to pop the bubble, bro.
Oh
I'm about
Lord.
to pop the bubble.
Okay.
I'm about that. When it comes to terms of energy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And when it comes to terms of energy, you can just stop. You can just plug it up and just when it charged, we'll start. Oh, it's plugged. Okay, cool. Oh, close it and then open it back up. So when it comes to terms of energy, this is my thing.
Okay.
Like you're talking about, like everybody's energy bill drops down. I don't believe that for a second.
Well, this is why I say it's got to be public. Because if it's a private company, it's not gonna happen.
I don't believe this because public things. They always get the short end of the stick. I believe this. This is where I'm going with this. Because I believe that they will spend the money on this fusion reactor, right? Okay. They will spend the money on this fusion reactor, and they will tell us after because let's say I'm just talking about a complete perfect future, right?
Okay.
Or semi-perfect future in my example. We get to the point where we have fusion reactors in every city. Mm-hmm. We're powering the city with fusion reactors now.
Okay.
Meaning that we don't have to use different sources of power.
Like we're producing way more energy than we need at this point.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. We're talking about in other situations, like let's say you're using gas power for the most part.
Oh yeah, the environmental piece, but that's a whole other.
Yes, there's a complete environmental piece to that. But what ends up happening here, in my belief, ends up that like they say, okay, Georgia Power shows up and they go, okay, we run the fusion reactor now.
Okay.
We run the fusion reactor now.
Yeah.
We no longer run this gas powered thing. So we are now, it is costing us zero basically, or just a modicum amount to run this thing as much as it would cost us to run a gas powered facility.
Yeah.
But the thing is that they're gonna then go, well, technically it costs more to run it because we need experts now to run the thing because it's a fusion reactor.
They're gonna raise the
Yes.
the labor costs.
Yes, they're gonna raise the labor costs on us. They're gonna be like, now that we have to have 6 Tony Starks running this,
I can't.
we have to charge you basically just as much, if not more. But it's cleaner though.
I disagree,
Bruh, I'm telling you right now, I believe the way that this works is that if the government ends up deciding that, oh, we're going to drop a fusion reactor in every city because we perfected it in France, we saw that, we're going to drop one in every city. I don't believe in our capitalist society that they're going to be like, we're going to allow them to now pay less for their bill. I think that they're going to be like, okay, well, how can we get the same amount from them every month while doing the same amount? Well, okay, cool. We'll tell them that it costs more because we have to have experts, because what if this fusion reactor blows up? I don't know what a fusion reactor do.
I don't know what the I'm talking about. No.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
You understand what I'm saying?
I feel the fear,
Yeah,
but I'm gonna tell you.
I'm saying is that, like, you know, when it came to cars, you know, they were like, you know, this is gonna be cheaper for you in the long run. I'm gonna make you pay, because it's the same with highways. They say you're gonna pay this toll for 2 years and we'll build you this extra space highway. No, you're gonna pay this toll for 8 years. and we probably gonna keep the toll there. No. And turn it into a different kind of. We're gonna turn it into the what do we have in Atlanta right now? The fast lane, the peach.
But that's
the peach pass or some crap like that we have in Atlanta now. They told us they was gonna give us an extra lane. They literally made an extra lane and then said you gotta buy a pass to got right in that.
But that's because,
bro,
I'm not gonna speak on the road lobby's corruption of the state of Georgia. But I will say this. I disagree, and this is why I disagree. Okay. It's because even and this is my last bit.
All right, go ahead.
Even if they do raise the labor costs,
okay,
that will not offset it won't even come close to offsetting, like, how much the entire production of the other energy sources needed. I mean, we're talking about like shipping in coal. You know, we're talking about like a lot of extra costs. That even if like everybody on the fusion reactor staff was paid $100,000, it would not offset it. I mean, so I think it'll be ultimately.
You don't think they would look at those numbers and go like, well, we should.
Well, I think a private company would.
They would.
A private. So see, Georgia Power definitely would. But that's why I said really at that point, to be honest, I don't know what private company will even want to get into the game, because the amount of revenue, I mean, will be peanuts. Yeah. You would definitely want to get into the game of constructing these things, but then like I see a model where this is it. So like I see a model, if we do get reactors, where there's a bunch of contractors who build these reactors, and then they pass them straight off to government ownership, and the government runs them, and that's it. The government. But I've always believed that power and stuff should purely be a public utility. Should be purely publicly owned anyway.
Word.
You know, like I don't like the private market in the utility business. But anyway, that's a whole nother situation.
All right.
That's my shot down on that.
All right. We dropped the shot on that.
All right,
we
guys.
We shall see when these generators show up.
It's crazy we're even at a space where we're talking about this.
That is actually kind of awesome. But
it is. Whatever. It is, because fusion reactors was the hope of dreams back then. You know, it wasn't all. Anyway, all right. So we're picking up our beer.
Yeah,
on tap.
Pick up the beer. What's our beer for today?
America 2.0.
All right.
Advancing democracy.
Let's go.
All right. So guys. So New America. I think before we address some of the particulars of a new America, like a new constitution and how the government's run, all the other what does advancing? How do we better democracy? Like, what does that look like? You know, like if we had the chance to really kind of choose our form of democracy, what would it be? How would we perfect that? So I guess starting off, elections. How the heck? Like one thing that has showed, one thing in modern society that's been revealed to us is that our election system needs work.
Yeah. Yes.
needs a
Like,
lot of
definitely
work.
needs work. Now, okay, when it comes to elections,
Yeah.
my thing is this: I don't, I don't understand how we're this bad at it for this long. That's definitely a thing. I don't get it. I don't get how we're this bad at it this long. I believe that we should be able to do elections from our phone. I mean, I get that, you know, we're in a situation where there is a lot of criminality going on the internet, but you would have to show me why we can't do that.
Yeah.
And and it is better that I write a ballot in and hand it to a guy.
Yeah.
Or I'm gonna put it in this system. I'm gonna tap all my things in this system, and I'm gonna pull this card out and hand the card to a guy who doesn't look like he wants to be here. You know, that is better that way.
The ballot volunteers. I mean, the poll volunteers.
Exactly. The fact that we don't have some kind of large system that we are all able to log into that says, hey, you're Nick, this is your system. You have a password, you have your social security number. You have to put in all this data before you can get in. You got to put in your driver's license number or all these things. And then that's how you cast your ballot, by putting in your birthday, social security number, you know, all this stuff. And I just don't get it. I mean, you know, I just don't understand how we are not more efficient in the voting process. And I think that to me would be my step one.
So yeah, access, right? Like access. As much as I think the powers that be rails against, you know, mail-in voting and all kinds of crap like that. If we want to be true to democracy, we have to increase access, and we have to make it as easy as possible. Yeah, I think one of the good things that some states do is they automatically register people when they get their driver's license or ID. That should be automatic for all states. Like as soon as you turn 18, boom, you can drive a vehicle. Boom, you can decide how we run this democracy.
Because why do I even have to register to vote? Yeah, if I'm in the system as a person who lives in the U.S. Why do I should just be able to go vote? Yeah. The fact that there's not one whole system, the fact that Facebook can do what Facebook does, and you can't figure out that I'm in this county and not this county, I don't understand. I don't get it.
Well, you know, it's just old system, and I think from a perspective of like people and stuff, it is okay. The system's okay because it's meant to be like kind of cheat proof. It's trying to be cheat proof. We're finding that other powers, other national powers, global powers are trying to influence, you know, through, you know, poking and prodding and all this other stuff on social media, how people feel about it. I think the greatest danger to our voting system currently is the belief in the voting system at all. But that's a whole nother piece. That's a whole nother piece. I think when we talk about improving it, you know, I think the technology piece is one, and I think on top of that, I honestly would like a receipt. Like, I think building the trust is another part of that. Like increasing the trust and increasing the access. Increasing the trust.
Never thought about that.
Increasing the trust as in like, yo, like this system that we have, this real-time system, when I vote, I am voter number blah, 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 who has voted this number vote for this people, and maybe hook that up and let that be free roam knowledge so the media can pick it up, and then it's like boom, you know, this number voter voted, boom. Yes, I can see that my vote counted. Right now, I think one of the biggest issues with trust right now is like people, even when we talk about ballot, even if we talk about machines, people are worried that those things aren't even being counted. I think it was a situation where 500,000 votes weren't counted because they weren't. They was mailed in, but they didn't mail in time or something.
You mean here in Georgia?
It was somewhere. I don't remember where it was.
Here in Georgia, something happened, I believe today or yesterday, where a group took legal action because supposedly 200,000 votes in Georgia were not counted.
Get out.
So it's like this idea that it's like, well, this is obviously why we don't trust you. Yeah. And it seemed like they were directly trying to not count these votes due to reasons that they had kind of conjured.
Yeah.
So
And so that's the dangerous part. So improving our election system, and of course, we gotta take the hard look at the Electoral College.
yeah,
It's probably got to go.
yeah,
And I say probably. A lot of people are like, okay, it's definitely got to go with the Nick. No, it's like I say probably because like I'm not one to throw away everything, and just completely get rid of old wisdom because there's a reason, But I think I'm at the point where I'm like, like all the reasons that I've thought about it. I like to review stuff before I go one way or the other. It's like all the reasons I've thought about it, it's like, no, that doesn't make any sense right now. It's like, and plus, this is my biggest thing for why we probably should get rid of it. Every other election is decided by majority vote.
yeah.
Every other election that you have,
every
from your city councilman to your mayor to your senator to your governor, are all majority vote. And we're fine with that.
And then the president is
some weird,
like people.
If nothing else, I think the best way to remedy the whole worrying about the wrong executive getting in power is to limit the power of the executive.
Yeah.
I think we probably need to be looking at constitutional amendments to rank. We've seen that that the executive has way too broad stroke, too much power, broad stroke, right? Way too much. Like this idea that an administration could just withdraw us from an internationally congressionally approved congressional approved treaty at a whim is insane.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Come on now.
It's like no. The people, we through Congress have decided that
that we like this,
and we actually want to work with the world on this or whatever it is, right?
Yes.
So that's my bit about that. Now, I think when we talk about advancing democracy, also we have to look at like addressing grievances.
Yes.
One and I guess this is the flip side to that, right? So like if we go no electoral college, then we're really completely giving into the majority rule situation, which is how democracy works, right? But how does democracy address those grievances is the key.
Yeah.
Like how do we address the grievances of the minority?
I mean, that is
I wish I had some more drink.
To me, to me, that is a big thing to bring up right now.
Yeah.
In this, because at this point, we are living in a quarantine, coronavirus, civil unrest America, and at least one of these things could be solved by letting the people decide right now. I mean, these people have grievances. And the fact that you are telling them that, like, we'll get to that at some point, maybe down the line, is rough. I think that we need to be voting on grievances in the same way that we vote on everything else.
You thinking about referendums? I think national referendums, and to be honest, please, whoever the most solid expert in government, please get me straight on how national referendums even get started. But national referendums should be more easily brought up. Like
yes,
it should be thrown back to the nation. There are certain things that should be thrown back to the nation more often. You know, like I'm in favor of that. That's just what it is. It's like it's big things. Really, like the Congress should kind of defer to the nation on some really big stuff.
Right.
Do y'all want a high-speed transit network? Throw it on the ballot. Throw it a national referendum. Do I want to be able to take a train to Chicago and get there in 2 hours and it be like half the cost of a flight? Hell yeah, I do.
Yes.
Check. You know, give me that.
Would I be down to pay X amount in taxes to do that? Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. We can do that. I think that we need a lot more government transparency.
Oh, on the federal level, 100%.
We just need a lot more transparency so that you can tell us, hey, what are you thinking about? Well, us as the people feel X way about it, and that you could take a vote. And if the thing is that if you, and
that's how you address those grievances.
Yes, because I think that voting is it sometimes seems like a task, But I think that I think that we should
Yeah.
be as a culture or as a society voting constantly.
But
I
see,
think that we should be voting once every 2 months.
and that
Not
sounds
few
like a
group
pure
of things.
democracy.
Because I do kind of believe in that, because it wouldn't even seem like as much of a task if we were kind of voting constantly. If this is a part of your monthly thing, like, yeah, well, I got to vote this month too, and I got to go do this other thing.
Yeah,
Like, we have to do so many other things as adults, because
Yeah.
being an adult is a thing we got to
And task.
is already a task. But just
Yeah.
add that, being like, yeah, and then every once in a while, just like you got to go to the DMV every once in a while. Yeah, okay, boom.
Yeah.
I also got to do this, and I got to do this, and I got this other thing, and I got to go vote because
Tracy, what we got? Did it stop recording?
check that out, Nick.
Yeah, I got to.
Yeah, you got to. You got to. We'll be back in just a second after these chicks.
So, guys,
Yo, we got
this
little
is
techie.
little
tech diff.
technical difficulty. In fact, I got how I want to add that in there. But anyway, we had some technical difficulties, guys. But anyway, we're back. We're back.
To end
So,
it off.
yeah, to go and wrap this thing up. So, guys, what we was looking at, like a fairer democracy, a more pure, more voting, more
Yes.
often equals a pure democracy, or it's closer to a pure democracy
Exactly.
than what we have right now.
Yeah.
I don't think we should be in a pure democracy state where we're voting on everything and we don't have any representatives, but a pure democracy where, like you said, people are voting every other month or maybe
Yeah.
even every half year or something like that.
Yes.
And that can only work with the addition of making election days
Word.
holidays. Right? So
Yeah.
you have to election days have to be holidays. That just has to happen.
Yes.
Like if
Like
we
where a day
how
where we're
how
all
the hell,
off.
how the hell does a democracy like not value democracy by saying like, yo, everybody gets this day off to enact their rights as citizens,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So if you had a situation where election days were national holidays,
Mm-hmm.
so everybody's off,
Yeah.
and we were voting on like there was more referendums where we were voting more frequently, maybe every quarter.
Yeah.
Quarterly would be awesome, like once a quarter.
Quarterly.
Like
definitely.
a quarterly national election would be awesome.
Because it would definitely force our officials to think about
Us.
what's about to happen.
Oh yeah,
They will be thinking about, how does everybody feel right now?
yeah,
Do they feel safe? Do they feel taken care of?
Yeah.
Because they're going to vote in 3 months
Yeah.
about how they feel about
Yeah.
this city or this
the
this
country,
state
the country.
or the country.
Yeah,
That
And-
that to me is one of those things where you just have to. You gotta take it. You gotta take that.
All right, so here's my wrap up for how we can advance democracy.
Okay.
So, number one, make every election a national holiday. That's
Okay.
like I just said.
Yeah.
Number two, term limits for every public official. Period.
Okay.
That includes the Supreme Court.
Mm-hmm.
That include and I get why. I really do get why the Supreme Court is lifelong appointments. But I don't think that counterweight matters as much anymore. Like I think that maybe they have longer terms than the average politician,
Mm-hmm.
but to have a lifetime appointment is ridiculous. No official in any democracy should have a lifetime appointment.
No, because that's a king. At that point,
A king,
that's a king
in their space,
Yes,
right?
if you have a lifetime appointment to what you have, at the very least, you are a lord.
Yeah, and you don't have any accountability.
You have
And so-
zero.
and
You
so-
can make whatever decision you want to make, and
It
at
don't-
that point,
people just
everybody
gotta
kind of got to
rock
rock with it.
And that's just not fair. That's not
That's not
fun. That's not fun.
Nah.
Like, geez, dude, like, pass the controller. But
I want to be player one sometime too.
no, but that's my thing. So, make sure all term limits, in some kind of way, we need to create a system where the public gets receipt of their vote.
Yeah.
To
The
increase
receipts for the votes to me was something big that you brought up that I was like, I've never thought about that, but
Yeah.
we definitely, like, every time I vote, I should have a receipt for my vote.
Yeah.
And I get that people, one of the reasons is that they don't like is that the idea that it's supposed to be super, super private. So you can't like share your vote. Nah, man, you should be able to give me a receipt.
Yeah. And if it requires us building a supercomputer to process all this at once, because what the problem is, right? The problem with it is that, what happens if somebody votes at the same time? Man, use whatever denomination of time, however far you need to go.
I don't care.
I don't even know what a pentamillisecond. I don't really care, right? But you need to go as far as you can to where, like, no, we know that in this measure of time, this was not the exact same time.
Right.
And even if it was the exact same time, this is the vote. This is vote A for this time. This is vote B for this time. But and you can conclude through, like, I would assume the media would spread this information. You can look at it and say, hey, on this vote, on this sheet of votes for the president, I was this person, and I know because I know my code, I know my receipt code, and I know my timestamp, and so like I was this person. And then once you start getting irregularities and people saying like, yo, my thing ain't even on here, then you can point out what's going on.
But see, my thing is that I know y'all can do it because Twitter can do it. That's why don't sit back and tell me exactly. Don't sit back here and tell me like, oh, it would take bruh. If Twitter can go and buy enough servers to let us all be tweeting wildly at the same time, bruh, for different, then I'm not sitting here letting you tell me that it's it'll be a lot of I'm not saying no.
What's
don't buy no more jets. Till you tell me.
I don't want no more Raptors. F-22 Raptors. We don't need them.
F-22 Raptors. Till you
I don't need no more aircraft carriers.
A legit voting system.
Drones.
Don't you buy not one other drone
until we
let me vote for my phone. That's the chant. No more drones until I can vote for my phone.
Oh my God! And that, my friends, is the dat on that.
That's the dat on that. That's the dat.
We're gonna leave it on that. We're gonna leave the episode on that because
let's leave the episode on that.
Because that's a chant right there.
Yes.
And if in one of these rallies or protests somebody got that, bro, they better give you credit, dog. To buy.
If I see a sign that say no
more drones till I vote for my phone,
I'm and if my name not up under there,
it's gotta be. At least your initials.
Please
at least TH.
That I don't got people out there, bro.
In every city.
In every city, bro.
My
in
goons.
Every city that mean anything.
My goons. They politically active and criminals. But all right. Oh my God.
Oh gosh.
Yo, guys, that's our return episode for you guys.
That's our return episode for you guys, man.
Thank you so much for listening, man. As we always say, please like, share, subscribe on all the major platforms.
Yes, right.
And when you get a chance, and if you find yourself in Sweet Auburn, come down and visit Joystick Game Bar and Georgia Beer Garden.
Come on,
just come on down. You might as well.
And I want to also say, and if you're watching us live, we got this. I want to say rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman, man.
Yeah.
That really messed me up.
Yeah.
All prayers to his family.
Yeah.
And everybody, and all the just everybody, Black America. We have had a rough year this year, and to lose this man, it was a blow that I was not ready for. So prayers up for all of us. Really.
And really, I would be remiss to miss out on also saying rest in peace to John Lewis.
Jeez, because we've been going since then. So rest in peace to John Lewis, man. All he's done. I mean, there are some real, very, very real heroes out here.
Yeah, it's been a tough year, guys, but we're gonna get through it.
Yeah,
I think, and I hope. I'm not as optimistic as you, but I hope the Americans. I hope the real America, the new America, the America that believes in itself.
Yeah.
The America that actually wants to stand by its ideals and believes that every man is created equal, that the spirit within all of us out there shines and elevates above all of the hatred and the fuss.
Yeah.
I hope we survive the supernova. Because
Right.
if not, we going to be reporting live from Tokyo.
Yeah,
Because I'm
I
getting the
moved.
No,
I
no.
moved. I don't know what happened, bro.
No, but
Rooted. You feel me? No.
hey, man, yo. Hey, this is your host, Nick and Tobias. Signing off, man.
I don't know.
Signing off. Peace.
Peace.
Thanks for listening. See you again soon.